Revelation 18. Revelation 18 verse 1. After this I saw another angel coming down from heaven. He had great authority, and the earth was illuminated by his splendor. Revelation 18 verse 1 explained. A different angel comes to John coming down from heaven with great authority. The glory of this angel was so great that it shed light across the dark earth. Revelation 18 verse 2. With a mighty voice he shouted, "Fallen! Fallen is Babylon the Great. She has become a dwelling for demons and a haunt for every impure spirit, a haunt for every unclean bird, a haunt for every unclean and detestable animal." Revelation 18 verse 2 explained. He announces that Babylon is fallen, and the phrase is repeated like a lamentation for the damned. A sad fate for a once great city. This is a prophetic picture of absolute desolation where the proud achievements of man become the demonic haunts of unclean and horrible creatures. Babylon's sin was not only idolatry, referred to with the term fornication, but also pride, greed, and selfishly held wealth. Revelation 18 verse 3. For all the nations have drunk the maddening wine of her adulteries. The kings of the earth committed adultery with her, and the merchants of the earth grew rich from her excessive luxuries. Revelation 18 verse 3 explained. All the nations of the world commit adultery with Babylon because she brings them great riches. They become intoxicated with her belief system of global economics. Apostate religion gains many converts from the political leaders of the world. Demonic religion gains these converts by appealing to their lust for power. The word merchant means commerce, business, trade. A merchant is a person concerned with commerce. Super wealthy, transnational corporations make money their terminal value. These multinational corporations use a certain kind of power to gain their riches. They use Babylonian luxury as their mode of appeal. Luxury means unrestrained sensuality. Unrestrained luxury and pleasure will influence the masses. Babylonianism is the philosophy of pleasure. That is why the Holy Spirit terms such as whore and fornication to describe this system. It is not that luxury in itself is wrong but that it usurps the place of God. Revelation 18 verse 7, 1 Timothy 6 verses 5 to 11, 1 Timothy 17 to 19. Revelation 18 verse 4. Then I heard another voice from heaven say, "Come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sins, so that you will not receive any of her plagues." Revelation 18 verse 4 explained. Yet, another angel comes with another announcement warning the saints to leave Babylon. It is inconceivable that a child of God could be a part of religious Babylon, though elements may creep in. But commercial Babylon, with its materialistic lure, is a constant threat to be guarded against. The warning is focused towards saints who are in the position Lot was in while he lived in the city of Sodom, Genesis 19. These are God's people in a place they shouldn't be, a place ripe for destruction. The call to depart from Babylon and the worldliness that it represents is a theme repeated frequently in the scriptures. Isaiah 52 verse 11, Jeremiah 50 verse 8, Jeremiah 51 verses 45 and 2 Corinthians 6:14, Ephesians 5 verse 11. Revelation 18 verse 5. For her sins are piled up to heaven, and God has remembered her crimes. Revelation 18 verse 5 explained. God has come to the end of his patience. He will now judge materialistic Babylon. God does not forget justice. It may seem that his wheels grind exceeding slow, but they also grind exceedingly fine. God's ultimate judgment is inescapable. It is certain. Revelation 18 verse 6. Give back to her as she is given, pay her back double for what she has done. Pour her a double portion from her own cup. Revelation 18 verse 6 explained. The ancient Greek word for render, apodidomi, means literally to pay a debt or to give back that which is due. God will give Babylon exactly what she deserves. Double restitution was required in the Old Testament in cases of theft, Exodus 22 verses 4 to 9. This perhaps is a commentary on how Babylon has made her wealth, through dishonest dealings. Revelation 18 verse 7. Give her as much torment and grief as the glory and luxury she gave herself. In her heart she boasts, I sit enthroned as queen. I am not a widow, I will never mourn. Revelation 18 verse 7 explained. This passage presents a threefold sin. First, self-indulgence, lived luxuriously. Second, pride, glorified herself, sits as a queen. Third, avoidance of suffering, am no widow, and will not see sorrow. All these things are characteristic of worldliness and materialism. Revelation 18 verse 8 Therefore in one day her plagues will overtake her, death, mourning, and famine. She will be consumed by fire, for mighty is the Lord God who judges her. Revelation 18 verse 8 explained. The word therefore implies an inference. God draws the inference that people who think that they are invincible will receive special judgment. Pride always brings a fall. God brings a sudden, fatal economic downfall to internationalism. The economic fabric of this system flies apart. Judgment against this system will come in one fell swoop. They believe at one moment that they are invincible, and the next moment the whole system comes to one great crash. The stock market of the entire world will utterly and finally collapse. Revelation 18 verse 9 When the kings of the earth who committed adultery with her and shared her luxuries see the smoke of her burning, they will weep and mourn over her. Revelation 18 verse 9 explained. Political rulers of the world will lament for Babylon when her political and economic structures crumble. These business people will not mourn the loss of Babylon as much as they grieve their own personal losses. The fornication of the kings refers to their belief in the Babylonian system of international religion and government, a belief system of materialism and humanism. People will hear world-renowned business types crying aloud because their system of belief fell to the ground. Their whole political world will enter great dissonance. Their international economic worldview will go up in smoke. Revelation 18 verse 10 Terrified at her torment, they will stand far off and cry, Woe! Woe to you, great city, you mighty city of Babylon! In 1 hour your doom has come. Revelation 18 verse 10 explained. The political rulers will stand back for fear of Babylon's torment. Words of woe and wailing will be heard all over the world, alas, alas. They have difficulty in believing that an international system such as Babylon could fall. That is why they repeat alas. In contrast to the mourning of politicians, businessmen, and sailors, heaven rejoices over her destruction because of the way she persecuted believers. Revelation 18 verse 11 The merchants of the earth will weep and mourn over her because no one buys their cargoes anymore. Revelation 18 verse 11 explained. Businessmen mourn over the collapse of this international system because the whole world economy will fall with it. This is the loss of worldwide trade. Revelation 18 verse 12 Cargoes of gold, silver, precious stones and pearls, fine linen, purple, silk and scarlet cloth, every sort of citron wood, and articles of every kind made of ivory, costly wood, bronze, iron and marble. Revelation 18 verse 12 explained. Businessmen grieve over 29 items of wealth in verses 12 to 14. First, they mourn the loss of precious metals and stones. They also grieve over the loss of precious fabrics. They grieve over the loss of their furnishings business. Revelation 18 verse 13 Cargoes of cinnamon and spice, of incense, myrrh and frankincense, of wine and olive oil, of fine flour and wheat, cattle and sheep, horses and carriages, and human beings sold as slaves. Revelation 18 verse 13 explained. They cry over the loss of perfumes, foods, beef industry, transportation industry, and even over the loss of their employees. That is, those who sold their souls to the company store. Revelation 18 verse 14 They will say, the fruit you longed for is gone from you. All your luxury and splendor have vanished, never to be recovered. Revelation 18 verse 14 explained. Souls that derive their central value from material things will find disappointment. Wealth will escape from them. Material things are transient and do not last in the soul. There will come the point when they never find fulfillment in these things again because God will judge the whole thing. Revelation 18 verse 15 The merchants who sold these things and gained their wealth from her will stand far off, terrified at her torment. They will weep and mourn. Revelation 18 verse 15 explained. Business people who earned their riches by the philosophy of internationalism will reject that philosophy in the end out of fear. Revelation 18 verse 16 and cry out, Woe! Woe to you, great city, dressed in fine linen, purple and scarlet, and glittering with gold, precious stones and pearls. Revelation 18 verse 16 explained. Apostate religion was good for business. Now that the great whore, international religion, has fallen, and now that the international governance system has fallen, their business is ruined. Their profits slip through their fingers. Revelation 18 verse 17 In 1 hour such great wealth has been brought to ruin. Every sea captain, and all who travel by ship, the sailors, and all who earn their living from the sea, will stand far off. Revelation 18 verse 17 explained. Captains of ships and sailors stand in shock over the fall of Babylon's world economy. The transportation industry comes to a halt. Revelation 18 verse 18 When they see the smoke of her burning, they will exclaim, was there ever a city like this great city? Revelation 18 verse 18 explained. As people in the transportation industry watch the international economic system go up in smoke, they lament the vigorous business they had because of the strong world economy. Revelation 18 verse 19 They will throw dust on their heads, and with weeping and mourning cry out, Woe! Woe to you, great city, where all who had ships on the sea became rich through her wealth. In 1 hour she has been brought to ruin. Revelation 18 verse 19 explained. They do not grieve for the loss of Babylon as much as they mourn their own personal losses. Revelation 18 verse 20 Rejoice over her, you heavens. Rejoice, you people of God. Rejoice, apostles and prophets. For God has judged her with the judgment she imposed on you. Revelation 18 verse 20 explained. God commands heaven to rejoice over the fall of the Babylonian international system. There is joy in this because this system is an evil system of intolerance of mutual exclusive truth, Acts 4 verse 12. God will ultimately avenge his people. This is not vindictiveness but a desire that God executes justice. Note the contrast between the politicians and businessmen who grieve and lament and the saints who rejoice. Revelation 18 verse 21 Then a mighty angel picked up a boulder the size of a large millstone and threw it into the sea, and said, With such violence the great city of Babylon will be thrown down, never to be found again. Revelation 18 verse 21 explained. A mighty angel takes a heavy stone and throws it into the sea to illustrate the destruction of the Babylonian system. The destruction of Babylon is so complete that no one will find any inkling of this system anymore. It sinks like a millstone to the bottom of the sea, Jeremiah 51 verses 61 to 64. 7 times the phrase not to be found anymore occurs in Revelation with minor differences. This indicates the finality of the defeat of Babylonianism. Revelation 18 verse 22 The music of harpists and musicians, pipers and trumpeters, will never be heard in you again. No worker of any trade will ever be found in you again. The sound of a millstone will never be heard in you again. Revelation 18 verse 22 explained. Babylon, famous for her musicians, will not hear the sound of music anymore. The entertainment industry will not make its untold millions anymore. Nor will craftsmen execute their trade anymore. We can see the extent and completeness of the fall of Babylon in the destruction of the entertainment industry, skilled workers, and even in the grinding of grain. Revelation 18 verse 23 The light of a lamp will never shine in you again. The voice of bridegroom and bride will never be heard in you again. Your merchants were the world's important people. By your magic spell all the nations were led astray. Revelation 18 verse 23 explained. Lights will not shine in the Babylonian system anymore. Nor will people celebrate weddings, Matthew 24 verse 38. The reasons for the judgment of Babylon are that 1, she deceived the nations by sorcery, and 2, martyred the saints, Revelation 18 verse 24. In the tribulation, businessmen are the great men of the earth. Wealth impresses many today. That is why they carry such influence in the world. The Greek word for sorcery is pharmakia, from which we get the English word pharmacy. Businessmen deceived great numbers of people by sorcery. In the 1st century, people used drugs to deceive others. These business people evidently traffic in demonism and the occult. Revelation 18 verse 24 In her was found the blood of prophets and of God's holy people, of all who have been slaughtered on the earth. Revelation 18 verse 24 explained. Babylon murdered both prophets and saints in her hunger for power. This reveals the true nature of international government and religion. History records tens of thousands of people killed by religion. Religion is a counterfeit gospel. God finally exposes the counterfeit for what it is and destroys it.